Namaskar, I am Dr. Meenakshi, Assistant Professor Mathematics from Sir Choturam Government College for Women, Sangla. Today, I will discuss about quadrature formula, and this is the topic from BA or BSc 5th sem, and this is under numerical integration formula that covers the section 4. Okay. Now we will discuss about Gauss quadrature formula. Just a minute. Okay. Here, Gauss quadrature formula. This comes under a method of quadrature when arguments are not equally spaced. We have already done Newton-Cotes quadrature formula, and this formula is applicable when arguments are equally spaced. So, in the condition that arguments are not evenly spaced, or we can say that they are not equidistant, then what formula we will use? Gauss quadrature formula. In this method, we express our integral, that is integral fx dx, varies from a to b. We write it in the form of sigma wi into f of xi. Here I varies from 1 to n. Okay. Next, in this equation, here we look these wi and these xi. These are unknown quantities. So we try to find out these unknown quantities. We call w1, w2, wn as the unknown weights, and x1, x2, xn, these are the unknown values for x that we are to choose in the interval a to b. Here we take limit of integration must be finite. It is the necessary condition for using this formula, and we are to find these 2n unknown quantities. So, by solving a problem using Gauss quadrature formula, first of all, we transform the interval ab to the interval -1 to 1, and this can be done by using the substitution x is equal to p plus q u. Here p and q are arbitrary constants. Now, we convert a to -1. It means when x is equal to a, the value of u will be -1. So by putting these values in this equation, we can find the equation reduces to p minus q equal to a. Again, when x is equal to b, the value of u becomes 1. So we take x equal to b and u equal to 1 and again put in this equation. So we get p plus q equal to b. Here there are two equations in two variables p and q. So by solving these equations, first we add them and then again subtract. Then we can find the values of the unknowns p and q. So here we find that value of p will be a plus b by 2 and q is equal to b minus a by 2. What are a and b here? These are the limits of integration. We take a as lower limit of integration and b as the upper limit of integration. Okay. Now put these values of p and q in this equation. So after simplifying it, we get x in the terms of u. Now differentiating this, we find the value of dx and we take this equation as equation 2. Now we have started from the interval a to b fx dx. Now we have converted it in the form of u. So fx function reduces to phi u in terms of u, and we put the value of dx as b minus a by 2 into du. So we get equation 3. Now in equation 1, look here, we have expressed a to b fx dx as sigma I 1 to n wi into f of xi. So we take this equation as integral -1 to 1 phi u du. This can be written as w1 phi u1 plus w2 phi u2 plus so on wn into phi un, where ui is equal to I1 to n. These are the n points of subdivision of the interval minus 1 to n. We divide this interval into n points and wi are the corresponding weights. Now, in starting, the assumption of God's quadrature formula is there. Abscissa and weights, this should be symmetrical with respect to the middle point of the interval. And in equation 4, if we look, there are 2n unknowns. Now, these 2n relations between the weights wi and the abscissa ui, we have taken earlier that if there are 2n equations, you can say there are equations in 2n variables, then they can fit a polynomial of degree 2n minus 1. So we can also say from here that if there are 2n relations between the weights wi and the abscissa ui, then the formula will be exact for all polynomials of degree not exceeding 2n minus 1. Therefore, we take this phi u as a polynomial of degree at most 2n minus 1. Here C0, C1, C2, C3, C2n minus 1, all these are arbitrary constants. Now, put these values in the left hand side of equation 4. Equation 4, left hand side is integral minus 1 to 1 phi u du, and we can put phi u from equation 5. So we substitute the value of phi u in this equation, and after solving the integral, we get equation 6. Now, put u equal to ui in equation 5. So if we put u is equal to ui in this equation, and this is equation 5. So here put u equal to ui. So I varies from 1 to n. So we will get here u1, u2, un. So phi ui becomes c0 plus c1 ui plus c2 ui square plus c3 ui cube plus so on. Last term will be c2n minus 1 ui raised to the power 2n minus 1. Now substituting these values of phi ui in the right hand side of equation 4. So the expression will become like this. This is w1 and this is the value of phi u1 plus w2 into phi u2 plus w3 into phi u3 and so on. Last term will be wn into phi of un. Now we collect the terms, same terms like containing c0, c1, c2 and c2n minus 1. Now this is equation number 8. If we look at equation 6, we say that we can say this is our equation number 6. Look here. This is also the value of the integral phi u du between the limits minus 1 to 1, and again in equation 8 we have find the value of integral minus 1 to 1 between limits minus 1 and 1. So we can say that the right hand side of these two integrals, say two equations, must be the same. So if we compare these two equations, we can say that w1 plus w2 plus w3 plus wn will be equal to 2 by comparing the equations. Next expression will be like this, and next and last expression will be like this. If we look here, there are 2n unknown quantities wi and ui. Now by solving these 2n non-linear equations by simple algebraic methods that can be used here, but it is very difficult to solve these equations even for small values of n. So we reduce the above system to a system of linear equations, and this is possible only if we know the value of u1, u2, un. You look here in equation 9, these are equations. Here w1, w2, wn, these are in power of 1, but u1, u2, u3, un, the power of them varies here. In first equation, power is 0. Second equation, they are of linear form. In second, they are of quadratic form, and so on. In last equation, they are of degree 2n minus 1. So if we find the values of u1, u2, un, then these powers may be solved and we are left with equations w1, w2, w3, wn, and these are linear. So we can say that these are the linear equations. So it can be easily shown that ui are the zeros of a set of Legendre polynomials. Thus we have obtained the values of this. Now we put the value in equation 3 and find the value of this. So it is a very complicated task to find these values for all the values of n and so on. So we only take the value of n as 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and for these we find the corresponding values of ui and wi that we will use in our problems, solving the problems using the Gauss quadrature formula. If we look here, for n equal to, this is u1, u2, and this is the set of values w1 and w2, and that is equal to 1. For n equal to 3, there will be 3 set of values, 3, 4 ui and 3, 4 wi, and there will be total 6. Similarly, for n equal to 4, there will also be 4 set of values for ui and 4 set of values for wi. Continuing like this, we find the values of n equal to 5 and n equal to 6. So this is the method we have to adopt for solving the Gauss quadrature formula. So we are to remember these values if we want to solve a particular problem by using a particular value of n. Okay, so we are to remember these values of ui and wi, then only we can solve a particular problem by using the Gauss quadrature formula. Now we move on to the problems. Then how can we solve a problem, can we solve a particular integral by using Gauss quadrature formula. Okay, now move on to our first problem. We have to find the value of the integral, and integral is 0 to 1 x dx by using the Gauss formula with n equal to 4 up to 5 decimal places. Okay, first we transform the interval 0, 1, 2 minus 1, 1 by using the substitution x is equal to b plus a by 2 plus b minus a by 2 into u. Here, look here. In Gauss quadrature formula, in starting, we have to reduce our integral into interval into minus 1 to 1, and that can be done by substitution. If you remember, when we solving the article Gauss quadrature formula, then we have put the value of x as p plus q into u. And then we have find the value of p as b plus a by 2 and q as b minus a by 2. So again here we use this substitution, and here we know value of a is 0 and value of b is 1. So we can use these values. In place of a we put 0 and in place of b we put 1. So we get x equal to u plus 1 by 2. Now differentiating this, dx will be du by 2. Now integral 0 to 1 x dx, this can be replaced in terms of u by, here what is the function x, and what we have found, x is equal to u plus 1 by 2. So we put x u plus 1 by 2 in place of x and du by 2 in place of dx. So our function like this. Now using Gauss quadrature formula, we can write in the summation form, and this will be 1 by 4 w1 into phi u1 plus w2 phi u2 plus w3 phi u3 plus w4 phi u4, where phi ui is ui plus 1. Okay, now we are solving this formula for n equal to 4. So we are to use the corresponding values for n equal to 4. So we move on to our table. If we look here, for n equal to 4, u1, u2, u3, u4, these are the values, and their corresponding weights are w1, w2, w3, w4. So we use these values in solving this question. Okay, now move on to the problem. W1. we can put this value from our table into phi of u1. Phi of u1 means u1 plus 1, and we can put the value of u1 from the table. Now this will be our first term. Similarly, in second term, w2 and phi of u2, again the values are taken from the table. w3 phi u3, this is our third term, and w4 into phi of u4, this is our fourth term. Now simplifying these terms, we can get our result as 0.499997, and this is the required integral that we have found using the Gauss quadrature formula. Okay, now move on the next problem. Here again we have to compute the integral by applying the Gauss quadrature formula. So in problems, in exams, it will be mentioned that either you have to solve this by which formula. Okay, if you remember, we have done already Newton-Cotes quadrature formula. All of you know that we have done Newton-Cotes quadrature formula, and Newton-Cotes quadrature formula we have done three methods. First one is trapezoidal rule, second one Simpson's rule, and in Simpson's rules there are again two methods, Simpson's 1/3 rule and Simpson's 3/8 rule. Okay, so if we are to solve a particular problem by using Newton-Cotes quadrature formula, then we can apply any of these three methods, and if we are to solve a problem by using Gauss quadrature formula, then we have to follow these steps. So again, our problem is to compute this integral by applying the Gauss quadrature formula. Okay, look here. Here, what is the lower limit? 5. So this will be the value of a, and what is the value of upper integral? 12. That will be equal to b. So a equal to 5, b is equal to 12, and this is our function. This is f of x. Here we choose n equal to 3. Okay, we use 3-point formula, Gauss formula. So in starting, we convert this closed interval to the closed interval -1 to 1, and this can be done by using the substitution that will be same for all the questions. Now substitute the values of a and b in this equation. We find that x is equal to 17/2 plus 7/2 into u. That is, we have converted x in terms of u. Now again differentiating equation 1, we find the value of dx. Now what will be the fx? Fx is equal to 1/x. Now put again value of x. So we convert function in terms of u. Now integral is integral 5 to 12 fx dx. We can put here as value of fx as 2/17 plus 7u, and dx as 7/2 into du. So this function will be treated as phi of u. Now we can write in the summation form, that can be written as 7/2 into w1 phi of u1 plus w2 phi of u2 plus w3 phi u3, where phi ui will be equal to 2/17 plus 7 ui. Okay, now because we have taken n equal to 3, so we will do with only 3 terms. Now again putting the values of abscissa and weights. Abscissa here we call u1 u2 u3, and weights w1 w2 w3. Now we are to use the tables corresponding to n equal to 3. So here we will get the values of u1 u2 u3 and w1 w2 w3. We substitute these values in this, and again we simplify the same, and after simplification we get the value of the integral will be 0.87535, and that will be our answer. Okay, so we are saying this is a very simple step to solve an integral by using the Gauss quadrature formula. Now evaluate the integral this by using Gauss quadrature formula. Same again the same problem. We have to solve this problem. Here look, here a is equal to 0, that is our lower limit, and what is the upper limit of integration? 3, that is the value of b, and we have to integrate what? X square plus 2x. So this will be our integral, and we are to convert this integral in terms of u. Okay, So first of all we have to choose the value of n. Now in this question we take the value of n as 2. Now in first step we are to transform the interval, closed interval 0 to 3, and that is our interval AB, to minus 1 to 1, and that can be done by using the substitution formula x is equal to b plus a by 2 plus b minus a by 2 into u. So we put the values of a and b in this equation, and in equation 1 you can see that we have find the value of x in terms of u. Now differentiating this equation, dx will be 3 by 2 into du. So fx will be equal to x square plus 2x. Put the value of x again here. What is the value of x? 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2. So we put x here. So there will be whole square of x plus 2 into 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2. Now expand this. This is a plus b whole square. And how can we expand? This will be a square plus b square plus 2ab. Now collecting the like terms, we get the function as 9 by 4u square plus 15 by 2u plus 21 by 4, and that will be equal to 5 of u. This is our new function after transformation of x into u. Now what was the integral? Integral 0 to 3 x square plus 2x dx. So we substitute the values in terms of u. Now it becomes 3 by 2 integral minus 1 to 1 phi u d. We again substitute the value of phi u in this equation, and now we write in summation form. Here we have used n equal to, so I varied from 1 to 2, wi into 9 by 4 ui square plus 15 by 2 ui plus 21 by 4. First take the value of I equal to 1, then 2. So we get two set of values, u1, u2 and w1, w2. And these values can be put from the standard table for corresponding to n equal to 2. So we substitute these values and we again simplify the calculation, and result will be as 17.99999. That will be approximately equal to 80. Again we move on to our next problem. Here we are to evaluate the integral 0 to 2 under root 1 plus 4x dx by Gaussian 2 points formula. Here it is given that we are to take n is equal to 2. Okay, and fx is under root 1 plus 4x. First we transform the interval 0 to minus 1 to 1, and now it is clear to us that this can be done by using the substitution method. X is equal to b plus a by 2 plus b minus a by 2 into u. We put the values of a and b in this equation and we find x in terms of u. So from here we find that dx will be equal to d. Now we are to convert our function fx in terms of u. So we substitute the value of x here and we find that the function will be under root 5 plus 4 ud, and this can be written in the sigma form as w1 phi u1 plus w2 phi u2, where phi ui will be equal to 5 plus 4 I. No, this will be not equal to I, this will be equal to 4 into ui. Because x is equal to, here we take phi u is equal to 5 plus 4 ui. So if we are to find phi ui, then replace u by ui. Okay. Now we put I equal to 1 and 2. So we can get phi u1 and phi u2. So in this we are again using the values corresponding to n equal to 2 from the standard table. And it is very easy to remember the values corresponding to n equal to 2. If we are not given any such restriction that you are to use n is equal to this, then simply use the values corresponding to n equal to 2. Here if we look there, corresponding to n equal to 2, weights will be equal to 1. That is W1 and W2 will, both of them will be equal to 1, and U1 and U2 will be numerically opposite side. Numerically same, magnitude will remain same, but their sign will be opposite. So remember only the value of U1, then U2 will be its negative. So U1 is equal to minus 0.57735 02692. You are to not remember all this value, only simply use 4 to 5 places value. It is sufficient for us. Okay, so if we are not given the value, any value that you are to use in our question, then it depends on us that we can take any value of n, and n equal to 2 will be the simplest one. So what we were discussing here, this was the point. You can put the value for n equal to 2 and find the square root of this in last, and again our answer will be 4.3438. So here we have discussed Gauss quadrature formula with some numerical application. Okay, and all of this comes under the topic numerical integration. So if we are to find the integral using the Gauss quadrature formula, then we can use this. Okay, so if we are to solve a quadratic, we have to solve a integral using Gauss quadrature formula, then we have discussed here there are simpler steps. Again I summarize all the procedure. We are to given a statement, that is we are to given a integral that we have to solve, and here the limits of integration will be finite, that is a to b. Here we will take a and b both as finite, and again one such condition was that Gauss quadrature formula is used when arguments are not equally spaced. We have seen that in Newton-Cotes quadrature formula we divide the interval into equally spaced. We take the arguments as equally spaced and then divide the whole interval into sub-intervals. Okay, you can take the example of trapezoidal rule or Simpson's 1/3 rule or Simpson's 3/8 rule. In each of the method we have divided the method, the interval, into sub-intervals, and here what were the values of x, I that were equally spaced, but in Gauss quadrature formula the values of arguments are not equally spaced. So what were the first step? In first step we are to transform the interval, finite interval, closed interval AB to the closed interval -1 to 1, and this can be done by using the substitution. And what was the substitution equation? X is equal to P plus Q, that we have seen. Now transform x into u. From here find the derivative of x. Now again we put the value of fx in terms of phi ui, that is convert the function in x that was fx to phi of u, that is in terms of u, and that can be done simply by using the values of x. Now take this integral in terms of u as a sigma form, that is w1 phi u1 plus w2 phi u2 plus w3 phi u3, and how many terms will be? That depends on the value of n. Suppose we are taking n equal to 2, then there will be u1 u2 and w1 w. If we take n equal to 3, then there will be 3 set of values corresponding to each of ui and wi. If we take n is equal to 4, then there will be 4 set of values corresponding to u1 and w1 separately. Okay, u1 u2 u3 u4, similarly w1 w2 w3 w4. Okay, so that depends on the value of n. that how many terms we can take in the integral. Now we are to remember these values of weights and their abscissa from the standard table that we have discussed in Gauss quadrature formula. So we use these values, simply put these values in the equation, and again by simplifying these equations, by again after a simple steps of calculation, we approach the desired result. Okay, that's all about the Gauss quadrature formula. Okay, thank you all of you. Have a nice day.